Hi, PerspectaWeather.com meteorologist Paul Dorian here on Thursday, September 27th. Kind of a familiar pattern here with the passage of a cool frontal system in the overnight hours. It has stalled just to our south and east, and low pressure will ride up to the north and east along this frontal boundary zone over the next 24 hours or so, bringing another round of significant rainfall to D.C., Philadelphia, and New York City, mostly in the overnight hours into the early part of Friday morning. Here's the current surface map, and again, that cool frontal system that produced some strong to severe thunderstorms in the I-95 corridor last night is stalling out right now just to the south and east of the I-95 corridor. D.C. right here, Philadelphia right here, New York City right here. So here's the I-95 corridor just to the south and east. This frontal system is stalling out. Low pressure is starting to form right now. This will kind of consolidate into one low pressure area, and it'll ride right up along that frontal boundary zone over the next 24 hours. Showers could arrive in the D.C. metro region anytime this afternoon, probably holding off to the end of the day for Philadelphia. And most of the heavy rainfall looks like it'll be in the overnight hours, certainly in New York City after midnight, but pretty much in D.C. and Philadelphia and New York City. Soaking rainfall overnight tonight into the early part of Friday. Once this system scoots on by later tomorrow, it looks like high pressure will build in from the Midwest into the northeastern part of the country, and it looks like a nice weekend coming for a change to D.C., Philadelphia, New York City. Dry both Saturday and Sunday, and very comfortable temperatures, with high temperatures on Saturday and Sunday not far from the 70-degree mark. Well, here's a look at the current radar loop in the Mid-Atlantic region, and there are some showers now with an embedded thunderstorm or two across West Virginia, eastern Kentucky, southwestern Virginia. All that slowly consolidating into what will be a widespread area of rainfall and headed to the north and east as low pressure forms along the frontal boundary zone. We have the chance of another 1 to 2 inches, widespread 1 to 2 inches in the I-95 corridor, and some areas could end up with closer to 3 inches of rain by midday on Friday. And of course, grounds are well saturated. Flash flooding is a serious concern up and down the I-95 corridor. Much of the rainfall, the heaviest rainfall, will kind of be consolidated in a few-hour period, again, probably in the overnight hours. So that certainly could exacerbate flooding potential here with heavy rainfall coming in a relatively short period of time in the late night hours, early part of Friday morning. But again, 1 to as much as 3 inches of rain from this next rain event in the I-95 corridor. Well, let's use last night's 6Z NAM model run, a higher resolution model, to take a look at the upper level support with this developing low pressure area. And here it is, basically down in the south central U.S. We have a pretty vigorous upper level trough here that will continue to move to the north and east. Let's push forward here in 3-hour increments, and there it goes by midday, early afternoon, into the eastern part of the U.S. And of course, it's going to interact with that stalled out frontal system right in this region right here. Low pressure will form, and that will increase the coverage and the intensity of the rainfall in the Mid-Atlantic region. Again, some rain could develop during the afternoon hours, especially in D.C. Most of the heaviest stuff will hold off till tonight, and especially in the late night hours, there could be some heavy rainfall and an embedded thunderstorm or two going into the early part of Friday. Later Friday, clearing skies could very well develop in the I-95 corridor, and again, it's setting up for a nice weekend. Here we go. By Saturday morning, basically a zonal flow across the northern U.S. and high pressure should take control, producing nice weather here in D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, throughout the Mid-Atlantic region, including, by the way, for the Penn State-Ohio State game on Saturday night. It'll actually be quite chilly, temperatures dropping through the 50s, perhaps ending up in the 40s in State College for that game later on Saturday night. So again, a nice weekend throughout the Mid-Atlantic region. Finally, we haven't had that in a long time. Well, let's now take a look at the surface forecast maps, and here we start off the day with lots of green showing up with the NAM model run from 6Z. Let's move ahead in 3-hour increments, and notice it basically consolidates into a large area of precipitation in the form of rain, and central Pennsylvania, central and western Maryland and Virginia get in on the action as well. Heavy rainfall there later today and tonight. Look at this, yellows and reds here depicted by the NAM model in the overnight hours here. Heavy rainfall overnight tonight, not only across the interior sections of the Mid-Atlantic region, but right around the I-95 corridor by late tonight. After midnight, you can hear some rain pounding away on the windows, and there could be an embedded thunderstorm or two. Here's a little bit of a low pressure area forming right along that frontal boundary zone. Here we go now into early Friday morning. The rain from the I-95 corridor points to the east, and that scoots out of here. The low pressure moves off the southern New England coastline. Can be some clearing skies, some sunshine possible in at least parts of the I-95 corridor during the late day on Friday, and a cool night Friday night. And then here we go with the weekend outlook here. This high pressure system over the Midwest expands into the Mid-Atlantic region. Here we go by Saturday evening. High pressure dominating the scene. Finally, let's move forward into the early part of Sunday. Some shower activity over the Great Lakes, but we should hold on for relatively nice weather here in the I-95 corridor on Sunday as well. So again, wrapping up another significant rain event coming to D.C., Philadelphia, New York City, primarily tonight. It may start in the afternoon and may end tomorrow morning, but the heaviest rain is likely to hold off to the overnight hours. There can be a few hour period of very heavy rain that could increase chances for some flash flood, and the grounds, of course, are very well saturated. All of this should get out of here by later Friday, paving the way for a nice weekend in much of the Mid-Atlantic region. That's it for now. For PerspectaWeather.com, I'm meteorologist Paul Dorian.